Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some fans, especially Eagles fans, just can't help themselves when it comes to talking nonsense about our Cowboys? It's like their full-time job is trying to stir things up, whether there's truth behind it or not. And that's exactly what happened with this story about Tyler Booker. You probably saw it floating around. Some loudmouth Eagles fan claiming that Booker got absolutely manhandled by Jalen Carter back in college. They said he got dominated, thrown around like it wasn't even close. But here's the thing. That never happened. Now hang with me, because this isn't just about a simple mix-up. This is about how false narratives get created and passed around like they're fact. It started with Booker doing something that every real competitor does. He said he wants to go up against the best. And in this case, he named Jalen Carter. That's the kind of mentality you want in a future Cowboy. Confidence, hunger, no fear of facing anyone. But just because he said that, some Eagles fans decided to rewrite history. Suddenly in their heads, they were remembering a game that never even took place, and that's where things get real interesting. Because when someone actually took a moment to investigate the claim, shout out to Holly, who deserves a medal for this, guess what? Turns out Tyler Booker and Jalen Carter never even played against each other in college, not once. Their time in the SEC didn't overlap in a way that would have put them on the field at the same time. So that whole story about Booker getting steamrolled? It's pure fiction. Made up. Just one more desperate attempt from Eagles fans to drag one of our guys through the mud. Let me ask you, do you think fans from other teams lie just to feel better about themselves? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're at it, do me a favor. Hit that like button if you're tired of the nonsense, and make sure you're subscribed. We're pushing to hit 14,000 subscribers, and every single one counts if we're going to keep calling out this kind of BS together. So now that we've cleared up the made-up story, let's talk about what really matters. Who Tyler Booker actually is, and why this guy's mindset might be exactly what the Cowboys need on that offensive line. Because let me tell you, Booker's not just some rookie hoping to blend in. He's coming in with the mentality of a guy who wants to dominate. And that's not just talk. When Booker said he wanted to face Jalen Carter, it wasn't because they had some beef or history. It was about something deeper. Iron sharpens iron. He wants to test himself against the best, and that speaks volumes. Not every rookie walks into the NFL talking like that. A lot of guys come in careful, polite, trying not to ruffle feathers, but not Booker. He's bold, he's direct, and he's hungry. That's the kind of dog you want protecting your quarterback and opening holes for your run game. Now here's something to really think about. Booker didn't have to name-drop Jalen Carter. He could have played it safe, but instead, he picked the guy that's viewed by many as one of the nastiest defensive linemen in the league. That tells me two things. One, Booker knows the standard he's chasing, and two, he's not afraid of the spotlight. That's a mindset that fits right in with a team like the Cowboys, where every move you make is under the microscope. But let's flip it. How would you feel if a rookie on the Eagles or Niners came in saying he wanted to face Micah Parsons or DeMarcus Lawrence? Wouldn't that get your attention? Wouldn't that show confidence, even if you disagreed with the player? That's exactly what Booker is doing here. He's showing us that he's not intimidated, and that alone sets him apart from a lot of young players. So let's put it to a vote. Do you like Booker's mentality, or do you think he's being too bold for a rookie? Vote below, and don't forget to sound off in the comments with your take. All right, now that we know what kind of mentality Tyler Booker brings to the table, let's talk about how this all connects back to Micah Parsons, because whether Booker meant to or not, his comments triggered a chain reaction that brings us right back to the heart of Cowboys Nation. Here's the thing. When Booker mentioned wanting to face Jalen Carter, some Cowboys fans instantly thought, wait, why not say Micah Parsons? And that reaction says a lot. Parsons has become that guy. The measuring stick. The kind of player young offensive linemen should want to test themselves against. So the fact that Carter got the nod instead sparked a little competitive fire among the fan base. And it seems maybe even in Micah himself. Because what happened next was subtle, but classic Micah. After the whole situation started getting attention online, Micah didn't go on a rant or call anybody out directly. No. He simply posted a short message on social media. Remember this. That's it. Just 3 words. No names. No drama. But if you know Micah Parsons, you know exactly what that means. Micah isn't one to let things slide, especially when it comes to respect. And whether he felt slighted by Booker or just saw an opportunity to add more fuel to his fire, that message was loud and clear. He's watching, he's listening, and he's filing it away. Now think about this from the bigger picture. That response from Micah? That's leadership. That's the kind of edge you need from your star player. Not petty, but focused. He's not begging for attention. He's letting the game talk. And you better believe, if Micah lines up across from Tyler Booker this season, he'll remember exactly what was said months earlier. So here's a question for you. Do you think Micah was responding directly to Booker, or was he just sending a general message to anyone doubting him? Drop your theory in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Now here's where things get even more interesting, because Micah Parsons didn't just post "remember this" and move on. Oh no. What came after that shows you exactly why he's different. This man took all that chatter, Booker's quote, the fans' reactions, the media buzz, and used it as motivation. And if you've been following Micah, you know this isn't the first time he's done something like this. Micah is built from that rare breed of competitor who doesn't need a full-blown beef to get locked in. All it takes is a small comment, a slight, a missed mention, and boom, it's fuel. That quiet fire becomes a storm. He's been this way since Penn State, and he's only gotten more dangerous in the pros. But here's the real point, and it's something I want you to think about. Parsons isn't just reacting to Tyler Booker. This moment reflects something deeper, a growing frustration, maybe even a challenge to the Cowboys organization itself. Think about it. Micah's out here grinding, becoming the face of the franchise, and yet he's watching the front office let go of veterans, miss chances in free agency, and gamble on draft picks that leave fans scratching their heads. He's carrying more of the weight each year, and he knows it. So when he posts, "Remember this," it might not just be about some college kid's comments. It might be about everything: the pressure, the expectations, the lack of help, the feeling that if this team is going to win anything, he's going to have to drag it there himself. And that's why this moment matters. So let me ask you honestly, do you feel like the Cowboys front office is doing enough to support Micah Parsons and his championship mindset? Yes or no? Hit the poll or tell me your take in the comments. I want to see where you stand, because we're not just talking about one tweet. We're talking about a message that might have been aimed far beyond the Alabama locker room. All right, now let's bring this full circle. Micah Parsons didn't need to scream, rant, or go on some podcast to get his point across. One Instagram story, 3. Remember this. And the message was loud and clear. He's watching, he's listening, and he's taking notes. This wasn't about drama. This was about mindset. Micah is letting the world know. Doubt me, doubt my team, doubt what we're building, but don't forget what happens when you light that fire. And here's the kicker. He didn't respond with trash talk. He responded with work. Video after video of him in the gym, pushing harder, getting stronger, faster, sharper. But let's be honest, it shouldn't be on Micah to carry the entire weight of the franchise. Not alone, not again. The Cowboys front office has to hear the message behind the message. He's setting the tone. He's stepping up. So now it's on them to meet him there. That means giving him real help. Not just in the draft, not just with depth signings. I'm talking about building a real contender around the player who might just be the most dynamic defensive force in the entire league. Micah's already shown he's willing to lead with action. But even the best generals need an army that can match their fire. So here's how I'll leave it with you. If you were sitting in Jerry Jones' seat right now, what would you do next? Would you go out and find one more veteran star to take pressure off Micah? Would you prioritize offense to keep him fresh? Or do you think the current roster is enough? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't just say what the team should do, tell me what you would do. Because one thing's for sure, Micah Parsons just fired a subtle warning shot. And whether it was aimed at a college guard or the Cowboys brass or both, it's a message no one can afford to ignore.